Take off your masquerade. Oh, la, la, la. I wanna see your face. Oh, oh, oh. Show me who you are. Yeah. I like the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. I'm the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. Hey. You keep lying to yourself. Keep destroying yourself. Make you think you've made it, but you're only faking it. You walk around with pride, but deep down inside, you are living in debt. And I wanna regret. You are caught up in yourself. Your pride got up to your head. You are fake towards the life, and it's hurting you inside. Yeah.
That's me.
You will
Thank
fake
you.
the perfect family, fake the perfect wife. While your house is not a home, this is what you should do. I like the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. I like the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. Hey. You wanna solve people's problems, but can't solve your own. You're in everybody's business. You neglect your own. You are hurting inside, but you hide it with a smile. No one knows your problem, so you think it's alright. Yeah. You think that driving big cars, living in certain neighborhoods, will make you very significant in the eyes of your friends. No, we wanna see your big smile, but behind is so mask. You are hiding your tears. You've been hurting for years and years. I must the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. I must the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. Take it off. Take it off right now. Take off your mask right now. We wanna see your face, your face. We're tired of the lies, tired of all the lies. God wants to heal you right now, right now. Take off your masquerade. I'm the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. I'm the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. Hey. I wanna know who you are. I wanna know who you are. And tired of seeing these lies in your face, your face. I wanna see who you are. I wanna know who you are. You are, yeah. I'm the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. I'm the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are.
Hey, what you guys doing? You know, we keep it going.
Yeah, praise God, you know what?
Love it, man.
TNJ in the house. Alongside Catcher. Hold on, ready? Yo, man, come bless up the place. Tell you. Catcher. Hey! Put your hands up if you love Jesus Christ. Yes, I don't know. Put your hands up. King of Kings, my Lord. In a resurrection. Put your hands up if you love Jesus. Tell him no, say the fuck you're done. Put your hands up. In a mix. All of the folk take a stance. Rise up our foot and shut up with him on them plans. Understand? Okay. We keep on reading it up. My God keeps reading it up. The truth is reading it up. Brooklyn, Babylon, my read it up. We keep on reading it up. God keeps reading it up. The truth is reading it up. Brooklyn, Babylon, my read it up. I see the plans and the tricks that they come with. They using the music. Hoping that we lose it. Say that they can they use them before them should have gone to bed. Come on. Others no more than more like 16 years old. And be the head of the home alone. Daddy gone and he's 6 feet underground. Told him but that but his heart was like a stone. We keep on reading it up. My God keeps reading it up. The truth is shielding it up. From the God Babylon read it up. We keep on reading it up. My God keeps reading it up. The truth is shielding it up. From the God Babylon read it up. Don't let them come around with the evil just plans. Dirty thoughts and need to be aborted. I see the man say it's starting because the grace never be aborted. It's against when they talk of it. Second the banks and the paper make a mock of it. All of it since Christ died and the cross for it. Don't look off from the things we're not for it. Not done the God's source for it. We keep on reading it up. My God keeps reading it up. The truth them shielding it up. When we're done Babylon, now read it up. We keep on reading it up. My God keeps reading it up. The truth them shielding it up. When we're done Babylon, now read it up. Choice to make might be the choice to break ya. Grab your faith even though they want to shake ya. Try not forsake you, just be patient ya. See me looking that out, that's not paper ya. They would have worried I heard from the Savior ya. Don't look after the wicked me the slaver ya. Till you want to go up like house and fire. Righteousness my fire. We keep on reading it up. My God keeps reading it up. The truth them shielding it up. When we're done Babylon, now read it up. We keep on reading it up. God keeps reading it up. The truth them shielding it up. When we're done Babylon, now hey, come let us change. Come let us rearrange. Christ all these days. That's why I'm here to stay. Come let us change. Come let us rearrange. Christ all these days. Listen to the saints, okay? We keep on reading it up. My God keeps reading it up. The truth and shielding it up. When we're done Babylon, we'll read it up. We keep on reading it up. God keeps reading it up. The truth and shielding it up. When we're done Babylon, we'll read it up. I see the bets and the tricks that they come with. They using the music, hoping that we lose it. Sex and sell that them think they use them before them should have gone to bed. Come on, mothers ain't mothers no more than more like 16 years old. I'm the head of the home alone. Daddy gone living 6 feet underground. Told him up that but it's hot.
Yes, good evening, good evening.
Keep on reading it up.
Once again, I want to say God bless evening, reaching out to each and every one out there.
Reading it up. When we're done Babylon, now read it up. We keep on reading it up.
Yes, it's another Monday evening.
The truth them shit.
This is Talk Time with Sharmin.
Now read it up. Yes. Listen as you learn as in the teens. Read the word of God. Make that be a honest clue. Don't let nobody come and tell you how to things.
Yeah, that's right, every Monday evening, right here, on Vibes Up Radio HD. It is a Happy New Year for me. I gotta say Happy New Year because last week I wasn't here. I'm not gonna do too much of music tonight because, you know, Miss Prince, I was looking at the, you know, the posts, and I was monitoring. I dropped a different program in there just to see if, you know, anybody would bite on that. But I see the majority, you know, they say what they want to hear. So tonight's show is listener's choice.
Yes, sir.
Basically. So, all of you out there that voted for tonight's show, I'm calling you out. You're not going to stay silent tonight. Because you call for it. So you have it. You know, back in the days, you know, the DJs used to say they got a sound effect used to go, liquid means rewind, the gunshot means forward, you requested it, so we rewind.
You need to get that.
That's an old sound effect. I gotta, I gotta look for that for real. Gotta look for that for real. So tonight it is basically a listener's choice, right?
Yes, the majority of people voted for self-discovery. Yes, thank you. The majority, self-discovery won the contest, actually. There were a few people that had a few topics that had 2 votes.
Right.
But it was, surpassed by self-discovery. And I think so. We should have a lot of participation. Mm-hmm. But even if we don't have a lot of participation, we'll still do the show.
That's right.
Because one of the things that I'm learning that we have a lot of silent listeners.
True.
For whatever reason, they wouldn't call in, but I'll meet someone and they say to me, "I listen to your show every Monday." I said, "Really? I never knew that, because you don't see everyone that listens, or you don't know who's listening. And even if they're on the live feed on Facebook, you wouldn't be able to identify them." So I want to thank those faithful listeners, supporters, and viewers of Talk Time with Sharmin. And, please share the link if you're on the live feed on Facebook. Tonight, we will be talking about self-discovery. And you know what's amazing, Pastor Peter, when I came in, I was telling Boss Lady that I have all my notes and my little research that I did, and rushing out of the office, I left it on my desk. And I think it's, it's a good thing.
For a reason.
Yeah, that's the same thing Boss Lady said. It's for a reason. You are not supposed to use it. I'm like, okay, I wasted a lot of hours, but that's fine. And we are here tonight. I have my faithful listener, Tracy Carter. She's always on, always tuning in, but never calls in. So, and I think, Tracy, were you one of them that suggested that we redo self-discovery? I'm not sure. I can go back to the post and so that we can call them out, but no, we wouldn't do that.
No, we wouldn't do that. I was just kidding.
No. Tonight topic is, or discussion is about self-discovery. And this was by popular demand. I think, Pastor Peter, that's one of our first or second shows that we did on self-discovery.
Right.
Right? So those people that actually tuned in and participated in, it's either our first or second show, but it's about discovering self. And one of the things that I wrote this morning is, do you want to know who you really are? Because that's the journey of self-discovery, exploring who you are. And sometimes, because Pastor Peter, I started this journey a few years ago, and I'm still on that journey. Right. It can take a lifetime sometimes. It depends on the amount of work that you put in to discovering who you are. Sure. And I chose my words carefully, because I said, if you put in the work, discovering yourself, like discovering anything, it takes time and it takes effort. And sometimes, and I wouldn't lie to you, but it's hard work, because just like the archaeologists, you have to dig. Right. And sometimes you have to dig deep. And in the process of digging, you may, uncover some pain. You may uncover some things that you don't want to deal with. But if you are true and committed to the journey of self-discovery, you wouldn't stop. Even if you hit a roadblock, don't stop. Because as you begin to peel off those layers, you will find, like someone said to me today, now that I've removed all my mask, I feel naked. Right? And
Well, is that a good thing?
it's a good thing, but her description of the nakedness is that part of her that she's not familiar with.
Right.
Because a lot of times we spend so much time creating the mask and the facades
Right.
that we present to the world that we lose who we really are behind the mask.
True.
So when we start unmasking and discovering who we really are, we're like, who's this person? You know, you have to reintroduce yourself to yourself.
True.
So I want to encourage you. It's so important. I marvel, and I hope she calls in. I hope she's listening. I marvel because after I started this work on me, I shared it with her and a few others a few years ago. But I guess they weren't ready, and she became ready sometime last year, and she really started to work. And saw that she called it this thing that Miss Prince does. It works. And put in the work because it's hard work.
Right.
And if you have embraced wearing a certain mask or a facade or a persona for a very long time, when you begin the journey of self-discovery,
Right.
it's a task because this is who you have pretended to be.
Right.
And you may lose some of your people, some of your supporters, some of your confidants when you begin to discover you and begin to present you to them, because some of them would feel deceived, and by right.
Right.
But some of them won't understand your journey on discovering who you are. Right? So you may lose some, and that's perfectly fine. Because when you drop them off, the right people will come into your life that is going to accept the real you.
True.
Because some people accept the mask you, thinking it's you, because they're viewing you through their mask.
Right.
So the number here is 718-342-0510. So again, 718-342-0510. And I just wanted to read the definition. I think this one is from Webster. I had two definitions. This one is from Webster. And it says, the act or process of gaining knowledge or understanding of your abilities, your character, and feelings. I'm going to read that again. Self-discovery is the act or process of gaining knowledge or understanding of your abilities, your character, and your feelings. That's what Webster said. And the Oxford, I don't have my notes. I left my notes in the office, maybe for a good reason. But Webster definition is a little different, but I really like what it says. The process of acquiring insight into one's own character. And you know, Pastor Peter, while I was reading on self-discovery, I asked myself a question, but why do we have to discover ourselves?
That's a good question, though, Sharmin. What's the answer you came up with?
My answer is we have to discover ourselves because from a very tender age or during our primary, secondary socialization,
Right.
we were taught to wear masks. We were taught to create masks. When you cry, shut up. You're feeling whatever. Shut up. Don't cry. We'll tell our boys, crying is for girls.
Right.
But even when the girls cry,
Right.
they're told to shut up. So what do? You want to cry, but you suppress that emotion, and you create a bold face.
Right.
Right? So now you journeying through life like that you were forced to create a mask because you want to cry, but they told you don't cry.
Right.
And I can go on and on and on and identify things that we do or unconsciously that forces us to hide our true selves because we hide our true feelings.
Right.
My favorite example, being talkative and being told to shut your mouth.
Right.
When that's a part of your character.
Mm-hmm.
So you like to talk, but you are told shut up.
Right.
So you only talk whenever you have the opportunity. So you stifle who you really are to present whatever or whoever is accepted to those in your circle. So that's what I came up with. If anyone out there have anything different, you can call us at 718-342-0510.
You know, I was asking myself that same question today. Actually, from yesterday, I started asking myself that same question.
And what you came up with?
Nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't dig deep?
I guess not deep enough. Because I started asking myself, what if this is not really you that you think that is you?
I have some people that can answer that for you.
Wow. I started asking myself that question because, and how it came by, because we were talking about this program. And this was on my way home from church yesterday. And we were talking about this program, and I was telling an individual that you need to listen to this program because it's very educational for your purpose, because I started talking about what we're going to be discussing today about self-discovery. And then I started to ask myself that question. I was like, okay, I knew that, yes, I did wear a lot of masks, but did I really take them off, or did I just push them aside?
Or it's still there and you have, I like to use Samantha example. I have this big mask. She said she has this big mask that maybe covers all the others.
Good question. I gotta do some digging.
Dig, possibly. Get a shovel.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing the program come around the second time that they voted for it, because sometimes you really gotta question yourself, because you may have potential to go so far in life.
Yes, we're gonna get there. Because some of us, the person that we created,
right,
or that was created by our socialization, that person might be, or that persona might leading us into a direction that is obliquely opposite to our purpose.
Yes.
Right? Because we wore these masks, we created these masks, and the real person is hidden behind the mask. And some of us don't even know. Some of you, under the sound of my voice, might be saying, what are you talking about? This is who I am. Really?
Yeah, even when we try to be real,
yes,
we're trying to say, well, yeah, I'm real. This is me.
I'm a realist. You hear that all the time, and I love when I hear that, because I ask questions that chip away at that egotistical statement that I'm a realist.
Right.
Because you can't be a realist if you don't know the real you.
Right.
And the only way to discover the real you is to really put in the work. It starts the fundamentals of self-discovery, self-awareness.
Right.
And I know I started the show where one got scared of me when I asked, who are you?
Right.
You know, who are you?
Uh-huh.
A lot of us, we identify with something external.
Right.
Or you hear a lot of people say, especially women, I'm a strong woman. What does that mean? I'm an independent woman. What does that mean?
How independent are you? Really independent?
Carlotta is calling. Hey, Carlotta, you want to call the studio? 718-342-0510. I'm going to put it up.
So for those of you that's listening out there, the phone number is 718-342-0510. 718-342-0510.
718.
Do you know who you really are?
342.
Do you know yourself? Your authentic self. So that's 718-342-0510. 718-342-0510. Join us live. Be a part of the conversation. 718-342-0510.
Yes. Well, I pinned the number. I pinned it at the bottom so the number can be there. 718-342-0510. Yes, Pastor Peter. The question is, who are you? And we identify with our gender. We identify with our careers. We identify with so many, with religion. I'm a Christian. But you know what? That's the easy way out.
Right.
Because when you begin to ask people or force people to look in, some people really don't want to deal with that. I use an example where someone told me, look, my life experiences, I put them in some pretty boxes and I store them away. And you force me to pull out one of those boxes, and what I saw in it, I'm not returning to that place. So it's easier for us not to deal with our stuff, to find out who we really are. And we've gotten so used to accepting mediocrity. Because if you begin to discover who you are, if you think that you're successful now, you will be shocked to know that as you discover who you are and you explore and you begin to go on that journey of self-discovery,
right,
man, you will succeed much more. Doors will be open for you because your authentic self is what the world needs. And if one of us, if you have a call. Caller, welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Yes, thank you and good evening. Happy New Year.
Same to
To
you.
you and everyone who is listening to the program. So I was listening to the very interesting conversation about self-discovery. And I wanted to say that it to me is such a critical journey, but it's one that is also so painful. Growing up, we were raised, and we were told who we are and who we should be and how we should live our lives. And it was so easy and comfortable, at least in my case, it was so easy and comfortable to become that person. The way you dress, the way you speak, everything that you do, the way you express yourself. And as I grew older, though, I had so many battles I wanted to express myself was not the way I would start to express myself. You know, and I'm a very conscious black woman, and I always wanted to be conscious about being black, but, you know, that was not like, it was not encouraged. And a lot of other things, you know, growing up in church life, and even as I got married, you see yourself as who the congregation and those people want you to be. Well, the first lady, that's who you should be. But that does not allow you, and if you dare to think, well, no, yeah, you could have this opinion or this perception, this is who I am, and I want to show who I am. That was always problematic. But it was only a couple of years ago, I would say maybe 4 years, I really said, no, I've got to see who I am. And that was terrifying at times. When I tried to take off that mask, the first thing is that, you know, people weren't ready for it and people don't want to accept it. And still, we kind of live our lives to please people, I think. And even if I'm very conscious of that, now I still sometimes think about the effect at the detriment to my own life. But taking out the mask is the hardest thing to do, and a frightening thing, because when I stand in front of the mirror, I wasn't frightened of who I am. When I started journaling, it was difficult to really find Carlotta. I could find the church girl, I could find the wife, I could find the mother, I could find the sister, I could find the confidant. I could never find me. It was so difficult to, you know, to really find me. There's so many layers and layers and layers and layers before I could really get to me. And the process was so difficult, I quit because it was traumatizing. It was freeing in some ways. But then it was painful in some other ways. And then I felt like, so much whose life I've been living all this time, you know? So you feel like you were robbed in some ways. That's a whole range of emotions. It's critical. It's a critical journey for us to take, and I'm so happy you're talking about it. Because a lot of us, and I know I could talk about myself, I could disclose that. I didn't know who I was. I got so wrapped up in other people's expectations and other people's vision for me. You know, and the Lord says, this is a word from the Lord about who you should be, or who your husband thinks you should be, or who the congregation thinks you should be. And it is difficult to do, but when you step out, and I'm glad you're encouraging women and supporting them, and men and brothers and sisters and everybody to just step out. It is painful, but if you take a little, one step, and don't rush the process either, because it's painful. So thank you for having us talk about this.
Thank you so much for calling. And I mean, you raised quite a number of points, and I just want the listeners to know that Carlotte is calling all the way from St. Croix.
Oh yes, the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Yes.
Big up St. Croix.
Yeah.
and you raised you I know, and we're in the cold, and you're enjoying the nice weather.
Nice weather, girl.
So Carlotta, thank you, but you raised something that that I didn't even think about, that we are what we are told to be. Little girls, and I mean, while you were saying that, I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that, because you were told little girls must be seen and not heard. And all these different sayings that caused you to create create mass. And you might just be a loud girl. And it was quite okay. It is quite okay, but it was not quite okay. It was not okay while you were being socialized. So you stifled that part of you to the point where you lost that part of you. And then you raised another point that when you began to remove all these layers of mask, it's like, where is Carlotta?
Right.
Where
am I?
I'll tell you something simple like dancing. I love to dance. But I grew up being told, well, you dance unto the Lord, right? So we could only dance in church when the music plays. But I'm telling you, I just love to dance, but I never could get an opportunity. Like, if I was at my family and there's music, we got a birthday party for somebody, I would sit there and look on. And inside, I want to dance, but I am not allowed to dance. Let me tell you, the first something as simple as dancing. One day I said, you know what? I'm going to dance. And so I was with my sisters and my family, and they had a barbecue, in Brooklyn. And I was saying, okay, they put on the music, and I'm sitting there and I'm saying, I want to dance, I want to dance, I want to dance. But everybody knows that this is Sister Girl, and they're dancers keeping me in this bondage. Not only everybody's keeping me in this bondage, because everybody got this expectation that I should not do certain things. We gotta live this particular way. And I said, no, I'm gonna get it. Now I start dancing, but stop dance because I'm dancing. Like, Sister, you dancing? And I ignore everybody. Girl, I had such a good time. Listen to me. I was euphoric. I was laughing on the inside. I was on a high. I had such a good time. I danced. I had a good time. And I decided, oh, so yeah, I can dance. Nothing wrong with that. You telling me that I have all these, there's things I want to do. But I can't do it because you put me in this, and I allow you to put me in this box, and I'm not presenting myself as this person. That's not who I am. That's not who I am. And some people used to say that, oh, Carlos is so quiet and nice. And I used to wonder who they're talking about because me, I mean, it used to be hilarious, but that is the way they want to see you. And that's the mask, that's what I show you because that is what I should be. As a girl.
But is it should be, or is it the expectations of a certain group or a certain culture?
Yeah, but that's what I should, because that's what you're telling me, that's what I learned. That this is the way I should be. And so it's to me, it's defining, it takes you through life. I'm telling you, this is only 4 years ago I started to take another look at myself. And I said that this is not who I want to be. Whose life? I remember clearly asking myself, whose life am I living? Whose life is this? Because this is not my life. This is not who I am. But this is who I show the world. This is oh, you're so strong. Girl is strong. We don't fall in my room. We don't cry. In front of you, you want to see strength, so I show you strength. I laugh because you're going to be happy if I laugh. You're going to be like, oh, great. But listen, you know that. Listen to me. The strength you feel is because that's who I think I should be. But then I realized, no. I need the ball too. And if you are uncomfortable with my balling, I've heard people tell me, oh, don't cry, don't cry. I said, why? I'm hurting. Why you telling me not to cry? Because that is what you want to see. You want this mass of strength. You don't want to see me crying. And so you will keep telling me, oh, be quiet. Oh, don't cry. Oh, all right. But why? I need to cry. So the mask, it could be on so many different levels, Just portraying yourself in a moment as the person you're really not. But you have to do that because of expectations. Or even you could be the expectations on yourself.
Wow. Thank you so much, Carlotta.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I listen to them. So I listen in a little bit more and I go back to work. I'm working.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, listen, yeah.
All right, bye-bye. 718-342-0510. 718-342-0510. Sharmin, something that just came to mind too, as I was looking at you while we're talking, this is something that I have recently got over. Because I remember growing up, when you're talking to the adults, they will tell you, don't look at me in my face. Because when you look at them in their face, it's like you're lying. So now you grew up. I came up here with that mentality, which up here is a different culture. Basically, if you're not looking at someone in their face, they think that you're lying. Now we grew up thinking that if you're looking staring them in their face, they're gonna say, "Oh, you're lying."
It's not even that you're lying; that you're disrespectful.
That too.
You know, why you eyeballing me?
Yeah. Wow. There's so many things.
One of the Carlotta raised a lot of a lot of great ideas. I remember when I started this journey, and I'm like, okay, I didn't have a name for it. I just knew that I didn't want to pretend anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, Pastor Peter, my journey started 7 years ago, on the 9th of January, when I took the ambulance to the ER and woke up the next morning to the worst news anyone can get. And I didn't know how to handle that.
Right.
Because no one in my family has ever been diagnosed with cancer. And that was 7 years ago. And I took to Facebook because I wanted to tell everyone, because if I told you, I didn't want to give you the opportunity to tell the other person.
Right.
So I wanted to be the person to tell everyone, and I didn't know what I was dealing with. And I created a Facebook page.
Right.
And I remember, she has been dead like 3 years now. Mary said to me, "What gives you the authority to create this page? What do you know about ovarian cancer?" And I said to her, "Nothing." And she said, "What is your experience?" Now here is someone asking me before I was volunteering that information.
Right.
And I said, "I'm not ready to talk about it." And she said, "Well, when you're ready, then we'll have a conversation." And it was like, okay, so I'm doing this to get information, but I'm not ready to talk. I've been asked.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, so what is preventing me? I'm comfortable telling you, but I'm not comfortable you asking me. So I had to remove that barrier. And when I removed that barrier, when I took to Facebook and I created that page, and I started to share my story, it felt so good that, Pastor Peter, there is nothing that occurred in my life that I wouldn't share.
Wow.
Because after that, and the more I get people, more and more women, because it's a common thing, more and more women started to share, and it became comfortable. And that's when I saw the need for me to unmask and help women to do the same. Because I know how it feels. I know how liberating and free that exercise was. At least so I thought with that first layer.
Right.
But as I began to dig deep, it was like, oh my God, this is painful. Just as Carlotta said, it's a painful journey. Nevertheless, it's the most rewarding thing you would ever do for yourself.
Right.
And some of us will never, Pastor Peter, I know this journey is not for everyone. Right. Some people just comfortable pretending. And if you say to them, you need to take off that mask, and you call them out, they're not comfortable doing that because they're afraid to take off the mask because they have pretended so long and wore that mask for such a long time that they have accepted it as a part of who they are. And other the journey of self-discovery and self-awareness is too painful. Some of us don't want to relive the pain, but you're not healed and whole if you don't deal with the pain. So you're going to continue your life with all this pain and all the hurt that is on the current, and you're not really you. You're not living. You're just existing. You are not responsible for anything that happened to you as a child, even during young adulthood. You know? So the guilt and the embarrassment that surround certain life experiences shouldn't be. You should not feel guilty for anything that anybody did to you. Especially when you have no control. And you have no control of that.
True.
So, we're on the journey of self-discovery. And in order to discover who you are, you have to start. First thing, you have to commit to it. It's a commitment. It's a commitment to exploration. When an archaeologist decide that I am going wherever to look for whatever, that archaeologist does not leave until they find something.
True.
When the anthropologists go to a village or a particular group to discover their culture, they do not leave until they're leaving with the information and a clear understanding of the culture.
True.
So tonight, I want to encourage you to become an anthropologist, to become an archaeologist. You're digging to discover who you really are. And my question to everyone listening, who are you? And in order to find who you really are, you have to dig. You have to do some work. You have to first thing, you have to understand that life has caused you to create all these masks, and I call masks anything that you created to hide your true self. So when mommy told you as a child, stop crying, I don't want to see those tears, and you dry your eyes, and then you did it a few times, and the next time you wanted to cry, you refused to cry, but you're crying inside. You're hurt inside. And even today, there's so many adults. Like I was talking to someone, and someone said to me that their whole theory of crying is so warped. And it's I call it warped. But that's their truth. Their definition of crying. And crying is a relief. Crying is something that we got as a gift in life, just like, laughing. But crying is seen, and we were taught that crying is a sign of weakness.
Right.
So tonight, 718-342-0510, self-discovery. Who are you? I remember last week when we were talking about settling, Bob from Canada called and he said, there are programmers or people that work with computers who prefer to work with machines than to interact with people. And so today, while I'm thinking about the topic, I'm like, those people, have they really identified who they are? And I think they have, even if it's partially, because one thing they know, they don't like to deal with. Don't like to deal with people one-on-one.
Right.
They know that's not their strengths. And so they prefer to deal with machine. I remember one person told me, I don't like to deal with people. you put me in a room with a pile of papers, and I can stay there for 12 hours without peeking out.
Somebody told me that just yesterday.
Well, you see,
I don't want to deal with no customer service. I don't like to deal with people. Same thing. Locked away in an office or something.
and I think those people have begun. Maybe they're still on the journey of self-discovery, because as I said, this exploration can take a lifetime because
Right.
it's hard work. And I just identifying and understanding that you don't like to interact with people, like I always share. Don't give me a job. I don't care how much money you offer me. Don't offer me a job to work with kids, because it's not my strength. It doesn't go well with my personality. So it's understanding who you are, and when you understand who you are and you begin to peel off those layers, and the more you peel, the more you find layers and layers of mass that has been created over the years. And it can become frustrating that where is Sharmin? I am trying to find her.
Right.
And you may want to stop, like, okay, this thing is not working. These masks have really worked for me. They were effective.
Right.
And the masks are a protection. Masks are, they are effective. But Pastor Peter, when we create these masks, it was for a time and a season.
Right.
But we are good with creating them, but we don't have the skills of removing them because of our we're unaware that, okay, this particular mask helped me through this situation.
Right.
And when we're out of the situation, we keep it on.
Get comfortable with it.
There you go. And then it becomes a part of us. Then it's a part of a. So we have all these layers of mass. So call us 718-342-0510. Let us know what you think. Share with us your understanding of self-discovery, where you are on the journey. What this thought just came to me, and it's something that Carla said. A lot of us are products of what we were encouraged to be, or products of what we think society would accept, or the demands that society placed on us. So we created that person because this is what is acceptable. Society, or certain circles wants to see us in 5-inch heels.
Right.
This is just an example. And we're standing tall, and we're beaming down at others. And that's the persona that gets attention.
Right.
But in the midst of that, where are you?
Yeah, we even see it in entertainers, like a lot of entertainers would put on different masks to do their performance, to capture the audience and whatever, So when you see them in their natural self, sometimes you be like,
Who's that?
because they're not being real all the time. Like for one, who Beyonce, what's her name?
Sasha Fierce.
Sasha Fierce. All these different personalities that they will put on because they think that's what society really wants to see instead of being their real self.
Yes. Yes. So I have a question, in my dear friend. What if the mask become a norm? That's hey. Sharon is asking, what if the mask become a norm and you cannot distinguish it if it is if it is or if it is not a mask. I'll get back to that, Sharon. Ooh. Call us back, caller 718-342-0510. A lot of times, Sharon, the mask does become a norm.
Right.
And if you remember when you started to wear that mask, I had so I had a mask that I wore, and sometimes because I know I know when to wear it. Of being rude. No, seriously, I was told that so many times as a child. You're rude, you're rude, you're rude, you're rude, you're rude, you're rude, until I became rude. And after I started my journey, I'm like, I don't want to come across rude. So it was hard work because all my life I had a rude face, rude mouth, rude words, and everything to support that rudeness.
Right.
But now I know when to, certain certain environments I go, I pull out my rude mask. And not rude, it's like, this serious. And if I need to be, I can be stern, that comes across rude.
Right.
But for a period of time, that was a part of me. And another thing with masks, when you start trying to find yourself, you'll be like, but is this really me?
True.
Like if you go to a function, I have fun with this. The life of the party.
Right.
I sit and I watch the life of the party. Because that person is calling attention to themselves and crying out for help. But crying out for help jokingly, and no one is paying attention. And that mask becomes a norm that everywhere they go, they're the life of the party. But if you sit with that person have so much deep-seated pain and anger and hurts, and you wouldn't know.
Right.
Because every time you see that person is making everyone happy. And that person is always jovial. But, so that mask has become a norm for that person, but it's a mask.
Right.
Because you ask yourself, when you ask yourself, is this really me? Is this a part of who I am? Is this character me? Am I really this? And you fill in the blank.
Right.
So those are questions you ask when during the process of discovering who you are. And as Carlotta just added, masks are functional. I said that because you may be going through a situation and you're like, okay, I don't know where I developed this strength, but on the journey, while you're going through the situation, you develop this thing, and it helped you through the situation.
Right.
So that was a functional mask. But once the situation is over and you're at the end of it, you're supposed to take off that mask. But because we're not aware that it's a mask that helps us through the situation, we're not aware, so we don't take it off.
Like you have a broken leg and you have to walk on crutches.
There you go.
When the leg heals, you're supposed to put away the crutches. But some people still hold on to the crutches.
Yes.
Because they feel confident in walking with it.
Yes. Perfect example. Because now, even though the cast is off the leg, you still want to use the crutches because you get used to the props.
Yeah. And
some masks are props for us. Because just the example I use, the life of the party, having everyone, whenever you go, if you have a family function, they'll be like, Is Peter coming tonight? Because Peter keeps everyone laughing and but no one thinks, but is that really Peter?
True.
What is Peter hiding behind all this stuff?
Right.
Right? Have everyone laughing and joking. What is he hiding behind that? What pain what experience Peter had that caused him to create this?
Right. That's why so many times we see people in certain situation, and then you hear they probably commit suicide or something. You'll be like, but how come?
There you
That's
go.
not possible. That's not who that person was. I never thought that person would do something like that. What would drive them to do that? But we don't know what's going on behind the facade that they have up.
They present to you this mask that everything is okay. But inside, they're hurting, there's pain. But, you know, like I saw my niece put up something that one of the celebrities, I think he's an actor, that say that half of the people don't care about what you're going through, and the other half only want to hear it. Something like that. And I'm like, I looked at it and I'm like, this is going to confirm what some people believe. I shouldn't tell you my story because you don't care. No, if I have to offload and your ear is the only ear I have, I'm offloading. When I walk away, I don't care if you care, if you repeat it, if you, whatever you do with it. So when I saw that, I'm like, that helps us or promotes creating mass. Because I'm going to keep my story. I'm going to keep whatever I'm going through to myself. But my question is, when you keep it to yourself, what is it doing for you? We are beings that were created to communicate. We're not beings that were created to hold stuff in.
True.
That's why we're the only creation that have language or spoken language, because we could say the other animals communicate with each other, because if a predator is around, there is a sound that they make to announce that the predator is on its way or is around. So they have language. So we have verbal language, and it's for a purpose. It's for us to communicate with each other.
True.
But some of us are forced to create that mask that I'm not gonna, my story is my story. But my story can help you.
Right.
My story can help you discover who you are.
I remember just today I told one of my co-workers to stay quiet. And he said to me, you don't understand. If I don't talk, my pressure will go up. But I mean, we're talking about situations on the job and pertaining to him, you know, because I felt like he was put in some situation. They tried to trap him in some stuff. So I was like, just be quiet and just let it go. And, you know, so he was like, no, I have to talk. Because if I don't say anything, my pressure is going to go up. So that's basically what you were just saying. You know, when people tell you to, you know, they don't care, and you say, well, all right, I'm not going to say nothing because they don't care, you only hurting yourself. Because when you bottle it up in there, like my co-worker here, you know, your pressure could be going up. You could be doing a lot of harm to your body physically.
But Pastor Peter, I do believe that certain illnesses that we suffer is because of some of the things that we carry mentally. I think there is a correlation. I just think that. There's no research to support that, but I really think that. Sonia said, we sometimes hide our pain behind masks. Just as I said earlier.
Yeah.
like the life of the party. When if you sit, because one time I'm like, okay, I've had enough of this person, and when she sat next to me, I said, why do you think that you have to be the entertainer and
Right.
you're in pain? And she looked at me and she said, what? I said, yeah. Why do you have to be the life of the party and you're in pain? And she said, no one ever identified that. I said, because people don't care. That's what I said. Because when you look, you always or is it just me? I always ask the question, why does she think she has to entertain us? What is she hiding? And we hide and we pretend because we don't know who we are.
Right.
We haven't taken the time, Pastor Peter, to discover who we are. And Carlotta said something that we are what we were encouraged to be.
Right.
So I think it's last week I shared that the girl wants to be a chef, but her parents want her to become a lawyer.
Oh boy.
And so she is forced into becoming a lawyer.
Right.
But that's not what she wants to be. So here is this young woman who loves to cook, but is a lawyer because that's what she was encouraged to be, or that's what she was socialized to be, or was forced to be. And in her heart, she knows she's a chef.
All right.
But she was able to go to school because of her abilities, and she became a lawyer. The number is 718-342-0510. Again, 718-342-0510. Pastor Peter, I want to hear Emran again. And I dedicate this song to all the listeners. I really want you to listen to this song. It is so appropriate.
Let me find Imran back. But in the meantime, the number here is 718-342-0510. 718-342-0510. Here we go.
Take it off. Take off your masquerade. Oh, la, la, la. I wanna see your face. Oh, oh, oh. Show who you are. Yeah. On master masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. I must the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. Hey. You keep on lying to yourself. Keep destroying yourself. Make me think you've made it, but you only think it. You walk around with pride, but deep down inside, you are living in debt and a load of regret. You are caught up in yourself. You're caught up to your head. You are fake to wealthy life, and it's hurting you inside. Yeah. You will fake the perfect family, fake the perfect wife. While your house is not a home, this is what you should do. I must masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. I must masquerade. Show us who you are. everybody's business. You neglect your own. You are hurting inside, but you hide it with pride. No one knows your problem, so you think it's alright. Yeah. You think that driving big cars, living in certain neighborhoods, will make you very significant in the eyes of your friends. No, we wanna see your big smile, but behind is all mask. You are hiding your tears, you've been hurting for years and years. Unless the masquerade, show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. Unless the masquerade, show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. Take it off right now. Take off your mask right now. We wanna see your face, your face. We're tired of the lies, tired of all the lies. God wants to heal you right now, right now. Take off your masquerade, unmask your masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. Unmask the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. Hey. I wanna know who you are. I wanna know who you are. And I don't see these lights in your face, your face. I wanna see who you are. I wanna know who you are. You are. I'm like the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. I'm like the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me.
Yes, 718-342-0510 is the number. 718-342-0510. Unmask the masquerade. Share the link, people. Share the link. Share the link. 718-342-0510. Don't be afraid to join the conversation. Don't be afraid to join the topic. All right? Because this was voted by you. You requested it.
Unmask the masquerade. Some of us, we have participated in the masquerade for so long that unmasking in the masquerade is like it's like telling you to strip naked. You know, and that's what someone said to me. I've removed so many masks and I feel naked. She promised that she'll call in, but I don't know. Maybe she changed her mind. But also, Pastor Peter, when we talk about self-discovery, it's about personal growth, your personal growth and development.
Right.
And a lot of times, we portray personal growth and development through achievements, right? Material things, because we'll think that we are certain status quo shows or proves that we have grown and we have developed, as opposed to, you know, taking the time and reflecting or doing some introspection and identifying the lens that we view the world through.
Right.
And how were those lenses developed? What contributed to the development of those lenses? Because we will begin to identify some of the fundamentals that really cause us to create the mask that we wear. And some masks that we wear helped us, like for me, some really helped me to survive. And protected me. So 718-342-0510, self-discovery. It's also a way for us to discover our individual personalities. Some of us grew up in homes, or if you were an only child, I remember as a child you wanted to be everyone else but other than yourself.
Yep.
I wish if I was Pastor Peter. I wish if I was Denise. I wish if I was Paul. I wish if I, as a child, you didn't know why you had those wishes, because you didn't like you.
Trust me. I remember well. I used to look at some of the guys in the neighborhood with all the girls.
And you wish if you were those guys.
Yeah, till as I started getting to my early teen, I started to put those things into practice. And when I get older, now that I am way much older, I realize that, what? I was treading in some dangerous grounds.
But you wanted to be someone, and in the midst of that, you lose you. You lose Peter.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's a perfect example, because we want to be everyone else except ourselves. So even in childhood, when you don't want to be you, because you don't know how to be you, so you want to be the neighbor, you want to be the neighbor daughter, you want to be everyone else but you. And in the process, you've lost you.
Exactly.
And sometimes we embrace those selves and think it's who we are.
Because I remember at 17 years old, I think I was, for my first kid. Because I so want to be like, the baby father type of, like, the other guys. But then reality steps in to tell you that parenthood is not that easy if you want to take responsibility. So, oh boy, was I really ready for that? No. But I try to be someone else, until the reality steps in.
Pastor Peter, one of the things that that helped me on this journey is self-questioning. And I don't know if we do that I don't know if we do that. We weren't taught to do that.
All right.
We weren't taught to ask yourself, why did you think that? Why did you do that? Why do you believe that? Where did you develop that belief system from? You heard Carlotta explain that, certain things that were done was done because of the church. Right? But where did certain acts, certain behavior, certain thoughts, certain values, our value system, where did it originate from? Who taught us those values?
Right.
Who taught us when did we start believing X? So questioning ourselves is very important on the journey.
I would say so.
And examining yourself, because you have to, now it's about you, because it's self-discovery.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I think that? Why did I say that? Why do I feel this way? Why did I overreact? And where did I learn that?
Even to us as Christians, the Bible tells us to examine yourself to see that if you're in the faith. The faith don't necessarily mean that being a Christian, because everything that we do in life is actually that you're doing it by faith. Because you step out the door, you're stepping out by faith. Because you don't know what's beyond the door. So examining yourself, I would think is very essential and very important to us. 718-342-0510 is the number. 718-342-0510. You are tuned in to Talk Time with Sharmin every Monday, right here from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Monday. Vibes Up Radio HD. Get the app in the App Store. It's free. You could also get us on TuneIn Radio. Yep, you could take us wherever you go, as long as you got your smartphone, your tablet, your computer, your laptop, whatever it is that you carry around. You can take us wherever you are. And those of you that's around the world, whatever country you're in, we welcome you. Thank God for the technology that we can be in every country right now, as long as you have the technology.
Okay.
I see you deep in there. Like they're killing you there.
No, they're not. The amazing thing, everyone is quiet on the live feed. Sharon said reception problem, so I asked if she's not hearing us clearly, but she hasn't responded. But the live feed is quiet.
Oh, I wonder why.
I always say whenever we do the topics that that we're forcing people to think and reflect, it's usually this way. That's why I actually asked, like one of my friends, I don't know if Raul is listening, is insisting that I do a show on independent women, the effects that it has on society. And we had a long conversation yesterday morning about it. I'm sure that topic would have a lot of participation.
Well.
Because you'll have those that are for and those that are against.
Yep.
So it would be a very heated and healthy debate.
Wow.
But
wow.
We're talking about you, looking at you.
Exactly.
Questioning you, turning the searchlight in, and forcing people to look at themselves. Look at yourself in the mirror. That's not an easy task, and some of us don't want to do that because someone might be listening to me and say, "Look, I have survived 50 years, 52 years, 55 years with all my mask. And I've achieved things in life, so I'm going to die with my mask."
Holding on to the crutches, huh?
Pete said, LOL, true. It's true.
Yep.
I understand. I think by now, what Pastor Peter, this month is 6 months.
Yeah, about.
Yeah, 6 months we've been doing this. I think it was July.
Yep.
And so I learned our audience. So I know the participation. I know certain topics. You get a lot of participation. Other topics when you're asking people to look at themselves, people are more quiet. They're because you're being forced to think about you, which is good. To focus on you, to understand that there is more to you than you have presented and than you have discovered. But it's going to take some work.
Yep.
You know, and one of the things that Pastor Peter, when we're talking about purpose, with this Facebook, because I do a lot of observation and my own personal analysis. And it's like there's so many copycats.
Oh my God.
And they're copycats because no people aren't taking the time to spend time with themselves and discover who they are and discover their personality, their gifts, their talents, their ability.
No originality.
So instead, okay, you're doing this, I'm gonna copy you.
Yeah.
You post this, I'm gonna post that. I'm gonna post the same thing. And I'm like, Facebook has its benefits to society because we're able to connect.
Right.
You're able to reconnect with people that you haven't seen or heard from in decades.
Yep.
But like I posted on a post yesterday after really looking at something someone posted. We stop. There are no certain values that we cherished and we embrace. We don't do that anymore because of social media. Sharon said that it's cutting out. Yeah, it's in and out, Pastor Peter.
What the
sound?
The audio?
Yeah.
Is she listening on the app or Facebook Live?
If you're on live, are you hearing us clearly? And if you're listening on the app, are you hearing us clearly? Just type that in. My sister Jennifer is in Guyana, so she's definitely might be. Jenny, are you listening on the app or on Facebook? Because they said it's in and out. Anyhow, yeah. So everyone, everyone wants to be something.
Right.
And that's fine. We all were created to be something. But if we discover who we are, we don't have to copy anyone.
Right.
We don't have to. You could just embrace who you are. That's if you know who you are. But if you don't, you're gonna copy a piece of me. You're gonna copy a piece of Pastor Peter. Yeah. You're gonna copy a piece of boss lady. And then when you're done, you have this kaleidoscope of personality or character that doesn't fit you at all.
You ever see the commercial? Puppy Monkey Baby? They tried to piece together something to make a commercial they couldn't come up with for one of the energy drink with I think what is it, a puppy face. Some part is a monkey and another part is a baby.
Well, Facebook has caused us to be like that, and some the narcissism and the delusions that, and it's all because we haven't discovered who we are, and so we are not comfortable with who we are. So we pretend. There's all this pretense that life is good. Everybody is LG, but behind the curtain, life is not good.
Right.
So, guys, I know it's hard work because I've been there. I did the work myself, but embracing who you are, understanding who you are, and accepting who you are. All of us cannot be presidents, doctors, lawyers. All of us can't be that. And all of us wouldn't be that because the world would not be able to function the way it should.
Right.
So we all need to identify our lanes and stay in our lanes.
718-342-0510 is the number. That's 718-342-0510. One of my cousins on Facebook says, yes, clear on Facebook. Good quality on Facebook. So it has to be the app.
Well, my sister said she's on Facebook, but everyone said the live is okay. So maybe it's a position in the house. I don't know. Anyhow, 718-342-0510. 718-342-0510. This process of self-discovery, and we understand that it's hard, but it gives you a deeper understanding of who you are, of yourself. And when you come to that place, I don't know how to describe it to anyone, but when you come to the place where you get an understanding of who you are and you get an understanding of what you can do, you never arrive because there are so many layers to you that when you're like, oh my God, I didn't know this. I didn't know this about me. You keep discovering things about yourself. So do not limit yourself because you don't want to put in the work and it's easy. We live in a microwave society where everything is microwavable. Discovering who you are is not microwavable. We gotta go the old way. You might gotta light the cold pot. You gotta light some chips. Put some newspaper because you don't have kerosene. You put some newspaper.
All right, Sharmin. Take it easy, Sharmin.
You light. No. It's a process. You light the newspaper so the chips can catch,
Yep.
And then you put pieces of coals in order to get the fire. And then you still have to fan it so you can get good fire to cook the rice, right?
You come from country. Wow. I tell you, those pot used to be the sweetest pot.
So I know it's hard work, and it's a process, just like I just described with the cold pot, right? It's a process, and it gives you a deeper understanding of who you really are, of yourself, of your character, of your personality, of the values, and most of all, your purpose in life. Some of us are still trying to find our purpose.
True.
And it's never too late to identify your purpose. Everyone wants to be something great.
All right.
We all can be something great. You just can't.
Nope.
So, and in order to avoid disappointments and false starts,
Right.
discovering who you are, understanding who you are, your values, your character, your beliefs. would help you to avoid, being disappointed. 718-342-0510.
718-342-0510.
And
Quick shout
Pastor
out.
Peter, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna take to Facebook and look for the people that says
That's it.
suggested
No,
self-discovery.
what is it? Lakewood means reap. Why the go shut me?
Yeah, I am going to find that post because you asked for it.
Yep.
Here we are. And my friend called all the way from BVI to participate.
British Virgin Islands. Also want to see shout out to Minister Michael Reed. Good night, calling you live with Sharmin.
Calling you live.
Yeah, hi.
Hello.
Yes,
How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to add to the conversation.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
am so pleased to hear you talking about self-discovery because I was one of the persons who did recommend it.
Oh,
Oh,
Diane.
she didn't want to get called out.
Thank you for calling in, Diane.
Yes, and I was just, yes, I will be.
Can you turn down your
Diane, there is a delay, and so if you listen to the phone or or your iPod, there would be a delay and you're gonna get confused. So just listen to the phone.
Yeah, turn down what you're listening to in the background and just listen to the phone.
Okay. Okay, so I'll move from the iPad.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so on the topic of self-discovery, I just found out, I attended your seminar last year and found it very delightful and encouraging.
Okay.
And I have started trying to discover myself, but I'm still in the process
Okay.
because I find it to be a life work. It doesn't seem to, for me, I don't want it to stop because there's so many areas that need to discover. And also, I feel that the chains, or some of them are chains, I think, that you came out in the environment and that you saw your mother and father, who were your first teachers, did. It was not totally correct. I mean, I'm one of those persons who like to look at things the shades of gray instead of like so long. So what I would like you to maybe explain, where do you find these different areas that you need to make a change? What's the process? So when you identify, what's your next process of doing?
Okay.
So get to that, and I'll hang up and I'll listen to you.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Diane. Thank you for calling in. And I'll answer your question.
Yes, okay.
So, Pastor Peter, because Diane called in, I'm not gonna
Yeah, I won't bother them out.
I'm not gonna call out anyone, but I actually went and I saw who said
All the voters.
so all the voters, so I don't have to go again to look to see who they are. But nevertheless, I'm gonna I answer Diane's question. When you identify the areas of that you need to change, one of the things that helped me is journaling. Like, okay, Sharmin, you need to change your trust factor. You really don't trust people.
Right.
And why you don't trust people? Because of what I heard as a child and what I witnessed.
Right.
So, and even some of my experiences. So, you have a serious mistrust. Now, okay. Sometimes, Diane, and anyone else that is listening, when you begin to chip away, and mind you, before I continue, you have to do one area at a time.
Right.
And you have to ask yourself questions, as I said. So, and I'm using myself as an example. Why you don't trust? I don't trust because I saw that people aren't to be trusted, right? But you're blaming everyone else for something that someone did to cause you to not trust people. Yes, that's true. So how do you fix that? In order for me to fix that, I have to go back to where that mistrust began. And the mistrust, the area where the mistrust began might be a very painful experience that I have to relive.
Right.
In order to make changes in that area, to begin to trust people again.
Right.
And so you chip away, okay, but it's a lot of questioning. Why do I do this? Why? The questions, why? How? Where? Where did I learn that? Who taught me that? When did I start being? Fill in the blank. So from the self-questioning, you get the answers and you continue to ask questions. Because that's the only way for you to discover.
Right.
And begin to chip away and make the necessary changes in that particular area. And I met Diane at, I walked into, I think, a barbecue, and when I had my conference, and I just choose women that I wanted to give my flyer to. And Diane was one of them, and she showed up at the conference. And then I found her last week on Facebook. So thank you, Diane. And if I didn't answer your question, and please let me know, because, you know, when I'm here, a million things go through my head at the same time.
Plus she multitasking.
And my brain wasn't created to multitask. So I may forget some things. So if I didn't answer the question accurately, please call back or let me know in the live feed. And the number is 718-342-0510. I'm going to call out the second person, Dr. Ken Wood. You were one of them that say self-discovery. Call us, talk to us. Everyone is silent on the live feed, Pastor Peter. Silence.
I guess they just want to hear it. They don't want to participate in it.
But say something. Say, okay, I don't know.
Yeah, because they asked for it.
You told.
We could have gone fire and ice tonight. Because it's really ice outside. We need some. and yes, I saw the voting.
You know, so guys, anyhow, Pastor Peter, this is what they asked for. We give them what they asked for. In order to in order to get a deeper understanding of yourself, you have to discover who you are. Pastor Peter, I find it hilarious when I hear people say, "That's me." You know, whenever they're angry, and you say, "That's how you behave?" "Yeah, that's how I behave. That's me. That's who I am." And in my head, I'd be like, "Really? That's who you are? That's not who you are. That's a defense mechanism that you created,
Right.
so that people wouldn't get past that wall that you just put up." You know, so listen, Pastor Peter, when I sit with people or sit in a group, I have my own fun. Because and this is even before I started to study. I just like to observe people's behavior. You know, and before I got, you know, wise, I would make fun of it.
Right.
Tamika, I'm not reading your comment. You promised that you would call in, so 718-342-0510. Yes, Pastor Peter. So I'll be in a group, and I'll just be looking at people because it helps me. You know, Maureen said it's very informative. Thank you, Maureen. Thank you. At least we know that someone said, you know, someone is listening and they said it's very informative. But yeah, it's easier for us to point our fingers out. And you know, in Guyana they say you point one out, and how many are pointing back at you?
4 pointing back.
Right. Or 3 pointing back, whatever is pointing back at you. However, we just say that. I don't think we understand when we understand that saying properly.
Right.
Because it really says, instead of pointing out, look inside. And looking inside of us is such a hard task.
Yep.
We're easy. There are people that would sit and talk about other people all day, all night. And if you just turn the conversation around and you said, try to shine the light on them, they have the art. They're very skillful. Calling your life. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Good night, my friend.
Good night.
Since you're not going to read my question, I have to come and ask my question. My question is, after you've taken off all the masks, right, and you've found this new person, but everything that you quote-unquote accomplished with all the masks, but now with this new person, it's uncomfortable, and you can't, it's something like an accomplishment, or you feel it's like an accomplishment, or things that you gained with all the masks, and now that you don't have those masks on anymore, and you rip them all off, and you just this, let's say you're like a baby now, you know, as an adult, you psychologically, or maybe you're starting over, you know, and everything that you've done with all those masks on, and now being that you don't have the mask on anymore, you're on your way to self-discovery, how do you deal with everything now without those masks?
Well, without the mask, it's important to communicate with your loved ones and those that are close to you. Because they're seeing the transformation. And you don't want to just spring it on them. So you have to communicate. I'm on the journey of exploring who I am. So I'm on this journey of self-discovery. And I am unmasking, and it would be nice for you to tell someone. And I found that I took off, you name whatever mask, and I am feeling naked now.
Yeah.
And the nakedness, if you can articulate how does it, okay, question to you, how does it feel to be naked?
It's vulnerable. You just don't know everything. You look at it differently, and most of the time, well, before I was concerned about what people would say about me and judge me and what have you, but at this point in time in my life, it doesn't matter anymore, but I still feel like that is what they're doing when they look at the quote-unquote newfound person, is that they're looking with a questionable look. Oh, I wonder what she's doing there. I wonder what she's doing there, or what have you. But it doesn't bother me like it used to. But sometimes I feel so negative and vulnerable that I would need to slip back into those masks that I used to use to cover up whatever it was that I was feeling. But when I do, express to people the journey that I'm on, sometimes I feel like I'm being judged behind my back, but it doesn't really faze me anymore.
Are you sure it doesn't faze you?
No, it doesn't. Because before I would get all depressed, or I would be wallowing, I would pull into my shell and keep all of my feelings, not wanting to say anything, not wanting to communicate with nobody or do anything, just lock away in my room, But that doesn't happen anymore. If you don't like me, that is how you feel. If you can't appreciate or accept this, then it is what it is. Maybe you're not meant to be in my life at this point in time.
Okay.
Or you've outgrown your season.
Okay. Question. How different is the person that the naked person from the masked person?
Well, the masked person for me, I felt like, I was, with the mask, I was blocking everybody out. Even my 2-year-old, I felt like, I have to be this strong, macho person for her, and with the mask, I really wasn't, family oriented, so to speak, or I know I was a wife, I know I was a mom, but it wasn't my first priority. I just felt, I have to be the trophy wife, I have to be the admirable mom, and everybody sees me, I have to be this type of mom, or what have you. But now with the nakedness, this is the most I've enjoyed being a mom and a wife, because now I'm becoming, let's say, family oriented. Before I wasn't family oriented. I was just focusing on what the outside people want to see when they look at us. But that is no longer that. I'm enjoying every moment. Especially my 2-year-old. Before somebody would ask me, "Oh, how's your daughter?" And I wouldn't be able to say, she's accomplished this, she's done this, or what have you. Now if you ask me about my daughter, we can talk about that all day, every day, and I will not run out of things to say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yes, and it's all back to the friends, because that's why you're Sharmin friends.
No. I'm in awe because I was trying to force her into this journey. How many years ago?
Like 3 or 4 years ago.
But about 3 or 4 years ago, and she was not ready. And I remember saying to her, when you begin to deal with your stuff, you're gonna lose all that weight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes. Oh that is.
And I think I remember her looking to me that I like if I just grew 10 horns. And so now to hear her say what she just said, it's amazing and truly as she began to shed the weight.
In April to current, I've lost 45 pounds.
Repeat that. Repeat that.
And all the things, I really haven't changed much of my previous habit. All I've done is I started forgiving and letting go. Because I was there to forgive, but the hardest part was letting go. But it was a lot of people that I had on my heart and in my system. And as soon as I started letting them go, I've seen, I've lost so much weight, and it's not by making any drastic change of my diet or exercise, or it's the same things that I've been doing, but just that I've added, I'm a little more health conscious because of medical reasons, but there's not that much change. It's the only big difference is that I started to forgive and let go. That's the most important part. People say, oh, I forgive and I forget, but the letting go part is the important component of that, of forgiving. So,
Wow.
some of the math actually too.
So some of the masks also help you to lose.
Yeah.
Yes.
The math was weighty. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sharmin?
Once you embark on the journey, you really want to work on it. Like Diane said earlier when she called that she just started, once you've gotten to that point that you really want to go down that road, it becomes so easy and it's enlightening. Because, like I said, I would not have these kind of conversations with nobody. You wouldn't get me to call or talk about my personal business or anything like that. Now, it doesn't faze me or doesn't bother. We can talk. I could talk to your entire show and friends with you, but I know I can't.
She sound like she could speak at your conference, Sharmin.
Oh, don't get in my head, Pastor Peter. Because I think I told her last week that I am planning this retreat for women, and because she's my success story. Because she's the person that she says, this thing that you do, she called it the thing, because of course we don't have a name for it.
Right.
So she called it the thing. And I told her, for our retreat, I really want to share her story, because she has really embraced it and she did the work. But my question to you, Tamika, was it an easy journey?
Not at all. Like I said, we attempted this 4 years ago. And the first math that I didn't even pull it off, I just raised it up. It hurt so bad that I was like, nope, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do it. I'm not, nope. Not ready. But when I decided to start, I've done so much crying. I've done so much, talking, and getting rid of stuff. And it wasn't easy for me, and it's still not easy for certain things. But it's easier than it was a few years ago. But it's not an easy journey at all. Because the scariest person sometimes is ourselves. So, yeah, it's not easy. But you have to make up your mind that you want to do it.
Yes. And if Tamika, if you had to encourage someone who is also, before I ask that question, when you were told about your mask, did you really believe it?
Did I?
Did you believe that you were wearing masks?
No, I was in denial. I thought I was fine. I figured everything that I was doing was right. I was in denial. I didn't believe in masks or all the things that I was told at first. I didn't, really doesn't know what you're talking about. But after really deciding I'm going to deal with the situations, I realized that I was wearing a lot of masks. Anything that happened, I put a mask over. Anything that happened, I put a mask over. So, yeah, I do believe in that.
Did you, at any time believed that your mask is a part of who you are, or that's who you are?
I felt like the mask was me. You know, I feel that anything that I did or what I did to protect me with whatever mask it was, I figured this is who Tanisha was, but it was not at all. I put on so many masks that I believed that was my true identity. I did not know my true identity at all.
I think you just answered a question I think that Sharon asked. What if the mask become a norm and you cannot distinguish it, that it's a mask?
Yeah, it happens a lot, and I've seen it happen a lot, that we pretend so much with the mask that we wear that we figure this is who we really are, and not knowing our true selves. So unless you're willing to take off the mask and really find who you are, it's not going to work. Because I'm still trying to find who I am. I'm telling you, some of the masks that I wore, I felt this is who I really was. But it's not. This is somebody's perception of who I should be. And because I believe that perception, I put on that mask to be who this person wanted me to be.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for giving me the platform to share.
Thank you for believing in the thing.
We have to find a name. We can't call it a thing.
Well, you call it the thing. Thank you for believing. Thank you for believing in the thing. You know, on a serious note, and even trusting me. Because in the beginning, when I started to talk to her, she was like, whatever.
Yeah.
As she just said, this lady don't know what she's talking about. But then, in April, between April to now, she has lost 4 to 5 pounds. And I told her 3 or 4 years ago, when you begin to deal with your stuff and let it go, you're going to lose all that weight. Because a lot of times we're carrying a lot of weight because of the stuff that we're carrying. That's why I made that comment earlier, Pastor Peter, that I really believe that some of the physical illnesses that we experience comes because of the psychological issues that we're having and we haven't dealt with.
Right.
You know, so thank you, Tamika.
Not a problem. Good night, everyone.
All right, good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.
718-342-0510 is the number. That's 718-342-0510. So, Sharmin, I see you didn't have to do that call out. They get scared.
But she wasn't one of them.
Okay.
But that's okay. I'm not going to call out anyone. I need people to be comfortable. And if they're not comfortable calling in or sharing, but I know that my friend Lisa joined for the first time. She said, I love the topic. Someone else said, Maureen said, very informative, and Allison said, great conversation. So, you know, everyone is listening and they're
taking heed.
They're taking heed, but they're not calling in. I don't know why. If it was anything else, like fire and ice, then we would have had fire and ice in the studio, but I understand that really self-reflection, self-examination, self-exploration, this self-discovery, this story of self-discovery, it's not easy. Taking time to really make an assessment, a true assessment of yourself. And you may say, look, I lived 50 years, 60 years, and I have been the same way. I wore these masks all my life. Now you're going to tell me what, who, when, where. But yes, you might be 60, you might even be 70 and you're listening to us. And you're like, I retire, I have a good pension, whatever, but have you really fulfilled your purpose and you're 70, 60, even 80? You know, have you really fulfilled your purpose? What footprints, like I was telling someone last week, what footprints have you left in the sand? And would anyone want to walk in those footprints, follow those footprints? Were those footprints deep enough for anyone to step in? Or did the rain just come and wash it away? So yes, you might have been, you've accomplished a whole lot, but what contribution have you made to society? What have you given? Have you really fulfilled your purpose? And if the answer is no, it's not too late. Discover who you are and find your purpose and fulfill it.
I wonder how many of our listeners ever thought about really looking into themselves to discover who they are. I mean, if they don't want to call, they don't have to call us to say that. But just drop something in the chat room, in the live feed that, you know, just say, yeah, I did. Or, you know, I will. If you're willing to do it. You know, just drop us something. Me, I'm willing to do it, whatever. You know, because it's very important to discovering who you are. You know, I was listening, somebody was playing Bob Marley Redemption song on the job. And when I listened to the second verse of the song, I was like, wow, you know, I've never really paid close attention to the song that well. You know, that I had to go and dig it up and listen to it carefully. And to see that so many of us is still in mental slavery. And we're waiting for someone else to come and say, well, all right, let me free you. And as he says in the song, you know, none can free us but ourselves. So how are you going to free yourself if you don't dig down there to see what is the root cause? Like Sharmin was saying, you got to go back to the root where it all started.
I have a question in the chat room. First, Diane said, I am enjoying my discovery. Tracy asks, what if you haven't discovered your purpose as of yet? And we won't discover our purpose until we discover who we really are. Because when you explore who you are and you're able to identify your real character and your real value and your belief system, not any system or values that were forced on you, you will begin to identify, or I don't even want to say you will begin to identify. Your life would lead you into your purpose. But it's so important, and as Diane just said, it's painful and free. I can tell you how many nights I laid on the floor and cried. I cried myself to sleep because some of the stuff I didn't want to deal with. But I had to because I don't know. And Pastor Peter, the thing about this, I didn't have anyone to tell me what it is I was dealing with.
Right.
And so when I go through some of my exploratory stages and the pain was too much, I'll find me a therapist.
Right.
And I'll go to that therapist, and when I got through that phase, I'll stop.
Right.
Because I really didn't understand it. And I'm telling you, maybe for the last 10 years, you know? And so it's like, okay, I know I need help right now because of what I'm dealing with, but
Right.
so I'm going to go get help, and I'll go to a therapist, and I'm going to see that therapist for a few months, and when I get out of that phase, I'm done. And then when it happened again. So it's a very painful journey, but it's the most rewarding thing. I don't care how many degrees or whatever. It's not as rewarding as, and I'm still on the journey.
Right.
Okay? But it's the most rewarding. I'm happy that I was able to go through that, and I have this platform to share my experiences. I don't have a name for it. This is something that I just knew I had to do.
Right.
I just knew that I wanted to be free. That's why in October I could make that choice that I'm gonna detox for the month of October. I'm just gonna share.
Right.
And let it go. It was easy for me because I did it before, but not publicly. I didn't share that with anyone.
All right.
You know, I shared it with a therapist or whatever. But that's how I choose to welcome my 50th birthday. And now, because I've been through that journey, I can help others.
Right.
And you know, it's a profit, it's a fulfillment of this quote that I've said for years. I can't lead you where I haven't walked.
Right.
Because if I haven't walked there, when we look ahead and we see ditches, I don't know how to tell you get across, how to get over it, go around it, or jump in and then just get out on the other side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, Tracy says, I'm in the exploratory stage of self-discovery. I'm so proud of you, Tracy. I can encourage you. If this is an encouragement, that it's a painful journey, but it's the most rewarding thing you'll ever do. Diane said, in the Guyanese society, we don't know how. So please tell us how. What do you mean, Diane? In the Guyanese society, we're taught so many myths. Don't hang your dirty laundry in public. Don't this, don't that, don't the other. A lot of don'ts, but a very, very few do's. Right? There's nothing to counter don't. Right? So if we don't hang our dirty linens in public, what do we do with the dirty linens? Keep it in so that it can contaminate the other clean linens. Yep. Right? We're going to keep it. And so it's contaminate all the other linens. And the stench affects us and affects others. You know, so all those myths, nonsense that kept us in mental slavery. And now it's so difficult for us to get out of that. Now here am I saying to you, find your authentic self and embrace it. What are you talking about, lady? Authentic self? This is who I am. But no, that's not who you are. And you know what? What's amazing? Because I'm looking at these 4 people that I'm doing a mental study of them. 4 broken people, 2 couples that are coming together, and all you see in the future is disaster.
Wow.
Because they're broken, they don't know who they are, and they're coming together.
Wow.
And my prayer is that when that time comes, that they're not hurt to the point where it becomes problematic, because other people are going to be hurt.
Wow.
Because, Pastor Peter, because we don't know who we are, we make choices that are not beneficial to us.
Exactly.
That choice might be emotionally satisfying for the moment. And there goes the questioning, the self-questioning. Yes, it's emotionally satisfying, but would it be emotionally satisfying 5 years from now?
Right.
In order to discover yourself, you have to question your words, your thoughts, your actions. If you question those 3 things, it's going to help you to discover who you are. Why am I doing this? Why do I think like this? What is the root of this behavior?
Seven 718-342-0510 is the number. 718-342-0510. You have Reality Corner.
Pastor Peter, you're right on the money.
Well, it's time for a Reality Corner.
It turned right. So, so Pastor Peter, I have these. I have like a couple. Like I've been adding to my list, as you know. Sometimes you talk to people, and people say things to you, and you're like, that would make a nice reality corner. So this woman is about to retire, but she started her retirement plan at 50, and 65, and wants to retire, but would have to become dependent on Social Security because her retirement fund check might be maybe $200 a month.
God have mercy.
Right? So she has to become dependent on Social Security, SSI, whatever. Because most of her life in America, in the United States, she's been working off the books. Wow. Because of the quick money. Right? So she wasn't paying. She said for the past couple of years, after working on the book, she's eligible for Social Security.
Right.
But doesn't have, her other income is like $200. So I don't care if you're 10, if you're 18, you're 28, you're 38, you're 48. You must have a retirement plan. And what is your retirement plan right now? the thing about it, one of the things, Pastor Peter, is that we have a 401 or 403. When something happens, we borrow 5,000, we borrow 10,000, right?
Right.
But is that wise?
Nope.
And then now you're advancing to that age of retirement. What are you eligible for Medicaid and Medicare? And do you know, if you're a homeowner, what are the consequences? Would you be eligible for Medicare and Medicaid as a homeowner?
Wow.
So that's my reality corner for tonight. The number here is 718. Play us a song so that can digest Pastor Peter.
I think I'm going to that Bob Marley.
All right, yeah, give us that Bob Marley.
I kind of feeling like that Bob Marley right now. God, this is something I gotta digest myself here. Woo! 718-342-0510 is the number. That's 718-342-0510. Don't forget, every Monday right here from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Talk Time with Sharmin. Vibes Up Radio HD. Get the app, download the app, it's for free. Download the app, it's for free. All right, you're also on TuneIn Radio. Yep, we're on TuneIn Radio also. So wherever you are, you can take us as long as you have your smartphone or your iPad or whatever device that you got. You can take us wherever you go. Emancipate yourself. It's kind of like stuck in my head. I'll tell you.
How do we emancipate ourselves? I'm listening to it, and when the slaves, I'm going to talk about Guyana. In order for the slaves to be emancipated, Coffee revolted.
Right.
Right? There had to be a revolution. In order for us to emancipate ourselves,
Right.
We have to revolt.
Yep.
Revolt from the norm, the facade, the persona, the fake selves that we have embraced and presented to the world as who we are, and begin to explore who we really are.
Right.
And you can't do it if you're inhibited, if you're afraid, if you really care that when you present your true selves to people, people say, well, all the time you've been fake? Yeah, just like you. That's why we were friends. And now that I'm presenting myself, my true self to you, you can't accept it. You're identifying my old self. Maybe you need to try this.
Right.
You know, you're going to lose people because you may take off a layer, and someone that you have been very close to is unaware that you took off the layer. And when you took off the layer, with the layer, you might have had said something or done something that is not in keeping with who you have just, the part of you that you have just discovered.
Right.
And that person is still wearing their mask. So behind the mask, they saw that and, made a judgment.
Right.
And it might cause you to lose some people. Might cause you to lose a lot of people. It might cause you to lose people that you love. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin. Caller, you're live.
Hello, good night. Big up yourself, Pastor.
Good night.
Good night, Deadly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How are you doing, Mom? You know I'm always in the show.
I know.
Back and forth, right now. About your topic.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are always coming up with the right thing at the right moment.
Mm.
Very helpful information. A lot of us do wear masks.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us get caught up in the persona and just bury our soul in it, and then the real you is afraid to come out and show, say, hey, this is who I am, and some people can't even accept that.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, there's no need to pretend.
Mm.
There's too much going on in the world right now to pretend and be fake. People have to accept each other for who they are, love and appreciate, encourage them to become who they're supposed to become. This fear thing of showing yourself to people sometimes can that be damaging in the long run. You can lose great friendships with people.
Mm-hmm.
You can lose a lot of opportunities. You know. So
Mm-hmm.
I would encourage people, man, just stop pretending. If they don't like you for who you are, then there's no need to pretend. They were never real to you in the beginning.
But you know, Deadly, some people don't even know who they really are.
I mean, my art, if life is a journey,
Mm-hmm.
in order to find yourself, you're the first individual before anybody else. It's priority. You're supposed to know yourself, accept yourself, love yourself, appreciate yourself before anybody else appreciates you.
But that's easier said than done, because if you were taught whatever you were taught during your socialization processes, and your what coupled with your life experiences, you have been through some situations where you created masks, because a mask can be a survival mechanism. And
Okay, go ahead.
and that survival mechanism help you through a particular situation. But because you weren't aware, you were unaware that that this is a survival mechanism that you created, that instinctively, and it helped you through that rough patch. Now you're out of the rough patch, you need to take it off. You didn't even know you created it, and so you didn't know. Now you don't know that you need to take it off. So you continue life with that, right? And then something else happened, and you continue the process. So by the time you're 30 years old, you have so many masks that you're not even aware that you're wearing, and the real person is hidden and lost behind those masks.
Alright. That's true. Everything is true what you said. Now, I would like people to take this analogy. Pretend every time you put on a mask, it's putting on let's say, a duct tape onto your face. Hey, I just need this person to put on. And you meet hundreds of people, 1,000 people, and you put on this mask, this duct tape on your face. Now, when that time comes for you to approach the world, when you discover yourself, and you try to show the world you have to peel off all those duct tape. It's going to be very painful. That's the analogy why people need to start painting in the head if they know that a circumstance or a situation or individual might force them to put on a mask. Just pretend the mask is a duct tape that eventually will build up. And duct tape, after a while, it builds up on your skin. And you try to peel it off, what does it do? It peels off the flesh after a period of time.
Well, Deadly, that is such a brilliant analogy. But because those of us that have been through the journey of self-discovery would tell you that some of the masks has left us raw. And it takes time to heal. Because just what you said, you rip off the duct tape, and it's so painful. And because when you rip it off, your flesh is exposed. And you have think about it, that now you have to allow
Basically, you're reintroducing yourself back.
yes,
So,
and it's
work
painful.
and the thing is now it becomes 10 times harder. It's like you give yourself twice the job and you lost twice the time.
Well, you know what? As I said earlier,
Because it's considered as a rediscovery, you know.
yeah, and it might not even be rediscovery because you never know who you were. Because during your life, I don't know if you heard the first caller, she was everything that everybody wanted her to be and what she was told to be, right? And that's why during self-discovery, you have to ask yourself questions. So, where did I learn this? And is this really me? And a lot of times, we don't even know that we are creating masks and that we are wearing them.
You see, the thing is now with that, it's I would call it a katana, a double-edged sword.
Mm.
There's the individual and then there's society pressure. That's what they want to exist out here in the world. And sometimes some of us do need to put on something because it's bullying. Let's look at it from another perspective. Bullying. Nobody wants to get bullied. Nobody wants to be talked about in a negative sense. So they're going to join. They tell you know what I mean? Hey, I can't beat them, I'm going to join them.
Mm-hmm.
That now, when you join them, you put it on the mask. Hey, meanwhile, you see how I look right now. Or here, I tore it right up with the stick. Come back to you know. This is what you like to see. But deep down inside, internally, your spirit is being taken down 10 times a notch. It breaks your spirit. You yourself breaking your spirit with the addition of them breaking you on the outside. So when you actually, it's going to take a while. That's why I said it's time consuming. It's like for the old folk that say, hey man, you pass the thing on the floor, why you pick it up? Why you got to wait till you come back and sweep and then you going to pick it up? When you pass, pick it up and done. So you wouldn't be so hard when you sweep in the yard next time. Pick it up and done. Show them who you are. Don't be afraid. Not everybody's supposed to like you. Not everyone is going to like you. But here what the thing is, they will grow to understand who you become. Let them see that. Stop pretending, man. You know.
Well, some people don't even know that they're pretending. That's the point. Some people don't know that they're pretending. Some people have worn the mask and has embraced the facade that they think it's who they are.
Well, they're going to show our internal struggle that they have to deal with, and when that time is right, like they say, time is the master. You can't run from it. You know, so I want to take up your time when you show me Sharmin.
Thank you,
Of course,
Deadly.
my advice to you guys out there as an individual artist that's coming up in the world, take my advice. The masks are 10 times costly to wear than being without it. Why I'm saying that? It avoids you from becoming who you were destined to become.
You gotta include that in one of your songs.
Well, I have all those things. It's in the works with Sharmin. A different kind of artist.
All right.
The reggae side.
Okay.
The mask will only slow your journey. It literally slows the journey. Take it from my experience. It delays every learning experience and your timely growth that the the Almighty Father set up for you. So, believe in yourself, and others will believe in you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Good night.
Good night, Deadly. Thank
Support
you.
Caribbean girls, you hear me?
All right.
718-342-0510. We got a few minutes more to go. So, let's do this.
No, there is hope for me, life is no grace. God has worked a miracle, cause of my faith. He put a little joy in me, bless my soul and set me free. Ooh, now I see the sun shining for me once again. The rain in the beginning had me thinking it would never end. Triumph and tribulation days was coming in my pride, and now I feel refreshing, wonderful and smooth inside. My burden was heavy, Lord, hard to bear. Friends turned away, forsake me, others only stare. Heard a voice saying I should pray, and my God will show me the way. Ooh, now I see the sun shining for me once again. The rain in the beginning had me thinking it would never end.
Yeah, that's right. It's all about self-discovery.
I have my
After the man discover who he is.
now I feel refreshing.
Yeah, you see the sun start shining again. Yeah, that's right. God has worked a miracle. Mr. Leroy, where are you? Are you in the Cayman Islands or are you in Guyana? I see you, but I don't know where you are.
God has worked a miracle, cause of my faith. He put a little joy in me, bless my soul and set me free. Ooh, now I see the sun shining for me once again. Rain in the beginning had me thinking it would never end. Trials, tribulations, and now I feel refreshing, wonderful and smooth inside. Yeah, yeah, life is no grace. Yeah, oh, yeah, life is no grace.
Okay, so we got about 5 minutes more to go, Miss Sharmin.
Yes, Pastor Peter. Paige said that we put her into a thinking zone tonight. So Paige, I hope that you don't stick into that thinking zone. That as you begin to think, you put your thoughts into action. Diane said, it's your consciousness to be ripped to recognize your readiness for self-discovery. And she pointed out something important. You have to be ready, Pastor Peter. Because if you're not ready, when you experience the pain, you would want to quit. And so being ready is so important. Because when you begin to experience the pain, you'll be like, you know what, I have to do this. I have to discover who I am. And if you're in a relationship, if you're married, let your partner know the journey you're on, because there will be transformation, and you
Right.
want to ensure that your partner is on the same page with you. Because when you say, do you know what, I don't like this anymore because it was a mask,
Right.
your partner should be able to understand that. So it's very important that you share that. So I have this quote, Pastor Peter, that I want to. I actually have two quotes, but this one is by Ray Smith. Never be afraid to fall apart, because it is an opportunity to rebuild yourself the way you wish you had been all along.
Interesting. I like that though.
Yeah. And this one is really culminate what we've been talking about tonight. I hope I don't mess up this guy's name. I think he's German. His first name is Dag, and his last name is Hammerskjold. I think I did very well by pronouncing that. It could be German, or it might be more Russian. I think this is Russian or even Greek. Anyhow,
Yeah.
it says the longest journey is the journey inward. The longest journey is the journey inward. And tonight, my encouragement to you is, as you journey inward, be prepared for the hurdles, for the pits, for even some animals jumping out at you that you didn't know resided there, and they can scare you. But commit to the journey, because the world is going to be a better place if you are transformed, and you would be a better person to the world. So do not be afraid to journey within, because there's a lot to be discovered. Become your own archaeologist, because you will find, maybe you'll find some mummies that has been there since Pharaoh's time. So
Wow.
you'll find some great discoveries, and then you'll be able to embrace who you really are and walk in your purpose. And whenever you are in your purpose, you will succeed. You will prosper. You will attract the right people to you and the right things to you. So do not be afraid. Continue doing that. And you can send me questions. You can like my page, Talk Time with Sharmin, on Facebook. You can send me messages. You have questions you're still thinking after we get off the air. Send me some messages. Send me a message if it's too long so I can send you my email. But I check my Talk Time with Sharmin show page every day, so you can ask me anything on that page. And if you have an idea or you have a topic in mind that you want us to actually do on the show, you can also send it to us. And Pastor Peter, take us away.
All right, so we want to thank you once again, all of you out there that tuned in tonight. Those of you that's on my feed, those of you that's on Sharmin feed, those of you that's on the Vibes Up feed, those of you that listening live on the app. Do remember that Vibes Up Radio is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have various programs. They have live on air DJs every day, basically. So you could keep it locked. Great music all day, all night. So keep it locked. And, before we go, we're just going to dismiss in a quick word of prayer. Father, we thank you tonight for the show, Lord. We thank you for Sharmin, oh God, for keep bringing these programs, oh God, Father God. Things, oh God, to the forefront that we need to hear, that we need to look into ourselves sometimes, because self-discovery is very important to us. Touch your listeners out there, oh God, Father God. We know it's winter time in America. Lord, keep them warm, oh God, Father God. Those who are in the tropics, oh God, Father God, encourage their hearts tonight, Lord God. Cover each and every one with your blood, oh God, Father God. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you. Good night. See you Monday.